What a disaster. This is one of the reasons that I said the other day, NBA All-Star Weekend, it should just be canceled. Just get rid of it. The All-Star Game itself is boring. This Saturday night deal that the NBA does every year, it's nothing but a circus. Players don't care. Matter of fact, let me tell you how much the players don't care. Did you know for the dunk contest last night, it's no longer a requirement for participants to actually be NBA players? Yeah. Participation from NBA players has gotten so low that Adam Silver, he is literally pulling guys off the street to participate in the dunk contest. Last night, half the participants, they were G Leaguers. And you wonder why fans don't care about All-Star Weekend. I didn't watch the polished turd that the NBA presented live last night. Thankfully, I actually have a life. I'm not sitting around on a Saturday night with my wanker in my hand, watching NBA players dribble around barricades, making 3-foot uncontested floaters, and claiming it is a skills competition. We got home about 10:30 last night, just in time to watch the replay of everything. Within 20 or 30 minutes, I was asleep. It was painfully boring television. The biggest news coming out of All-Star Saturday night, it was comments that were made by NBA analyst Kenny Smith. Now, unlike Mina Kimes, Kenny Smith is an actual analyst. Unlike Mina Kimes, Kenny Smith actually played in the league that he is being paid to analyze. The biggest news, it wasn't necessarily Kenny Smith's comments, but the complete overreaction to his comments. There seems to be this media or maybe even a social media created atmosphere where female athletes, they are above criticism from men. Anytime the WNBA dump is criticized, you're accused of not respecting these elite athletes who star in Rogaine commercials. If you criticize women's college basketball, they accuse you of mythical misogyny. Yesterday afternoon, Jay Williams from ESPN, he was absolutely destroyed on social media for comments that he made about Caitlin Clark. Watch for yourself.
I think she is the Stephen Curry of women's college basketball. Probably the most prolific scorer the game of basketball has ever seen.
Unmatched.
I am unwilling to say that she is great yet. I think she is the most prolific scorer the game has ever seen. I hold great or the levels of immortality or the pantheon to when you win championships. So Diana Taurasi, when you win 3 consecutive championships, 2-time National Player of the Year, it has to culminate with the chip. I mean, Breanna Stewart, if we're talking about GOAT legends of the game, she's won 4 chips. I'm not saying that she's not at a high level, but for it to go to the states of immortality, it has to culminate with your team winning a championship.
On one hand, I can understand the overreaction to Jay Williams. There seems to be this resentment building throughout the mainstream media when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And look, I am no defender of Jay Williams. I'm damn sure no defender of the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. Now, with that being said, though, I don't think race played any role in what Jay Williams is trying to say here. Hell, he mentioned 2 white girls when he was making comparisons to Caitlin Clark. I think his wording was wrong, and I mentioned this yesterday on Twitter. I believe Jay Williams was confusing greatness with iconic. There are a lot of great players, very, very few icons. However, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, I don't think she needs to win a championship at Iowa to be considered an icon in women's college basketball. Caitlin Clark has single-handedly accomplished something that no woman in the history of women's basketball, both at the professional level in college and the dump level in the WNBA, has accomplished before. Caitlin Clark has taken women's basketball into the mainstream. That alone should make her an icon. But a lot of the criticism towards Jay Williams, it was based on gender and race. It was about who he was criticizing. Jay Williams makes those same comments about Zion Williamson, no one cares. If he makes those comments about Caitlin Clark, it's reverse racism. You guys know me. I am one of the first to call it out when I see it. I just didn't see the reverse racism here. But the overreaction to men critiquing women, it exploded during All-Star Saturday night. Adam Silver, in his infinite wisdom, he decided to put together a competition featuring a sharp-shooting dump diver in the WNBA, one of the best trash engineers when it comes to shooting trash into the can from long distance. Adam Silver put this senior trash collector against the best three-point shooter the NBA has ever seen in a three-point shooting contest. Sabrina Ionescu against Steph Curry. I know we have a good time making fun of the WNBA dump here on the channel, but I'm not going to lie to you. I was impressed with Sabrina Ionescu last night. That young woman, she can sink a milk carton into a trash can from 30 feet away. She also has the ability to sink a much smaller basketball into a standard NBA hoop. Besides using a smaller ball, Adam Silver also gave Sabrina Ionescu the added advantage of shooting from the WNBA three-point line instead of the regular NBA three-point line. In the NBA, the distance is about 22 feet. In the WNBA, all shots are worth 3 points because it's so rare for WNBA players to actually make a shot. But to her credit though, Sabrina Ionescu, she didn't want preferential treatment. If she was competing against Steph Curry in a three-point shooting contest, she wanted to shoot from the same distance that he was shooting from. And you know what? Good for her. Now, of course, by making that decision, she ultimately lost the contest. But at least she proved to the world that women can do the same things men can do. Equity, yeah. No one ever said that women can't play basketball, but there is a reason there's a WNBA and there's an NBA. After this battle between the WNBA and the NBA, Kenny Smith and Reggie Miller, they got into a verbal catfight. Kenny Smith was trying to make the point that Sabrina Ionescu should have competed from the WNBA three-point line. Reggie Miller pretended to be outraged. He pretended to be appalled at this suggestion of misogyny. How dare you say that? A WNBA player should be shooting from the WNBA three-point line? Anything men can do, women can do better. The conversation gets even weirder when Reggie Miller accuses Kenny Smith of placing boundaries on Sabrina Ionescu while also claiming that Kenny Smith wants to see her playing with dolls. You know, normally this crew from TNT, they are the best in the business, but I don't know what the hell was going on last night. I blanked out some of the visuals for copyright reasons, but listen to this for yourself.
I think she should have shot from her. She should have shot from the women's line. That would have been a fair contest. I still root for Sabrina. I still root for Sabrina. We all are rooting for Sabrina. No. This is not what she should have shot from the three-point line that the women shoot from.
Why are you putting those boundaries on her?
That's not a boundary. That's what the game is.
She wanted to shoot.
They have a smaller ball, don't they?
She shot a WNBA ball.
WNBA ball is smaller.
She shot with the WNBA ball.
Don't let any man put boundaries on you like Kenny. Well, then give him a regular ball then.
Well, according to you, you want her just playing with dolls, right?
This is outrageous! Kenny Smith is drunk on toxic masculinity. How dare he say that a WNBA dump diver should shoot from the WNBA three-point line? That is the definition of misogyny. Maybe it's me. I don't get it. I don't understand the fake outrage. There's a reason that the WNBA three-point line is a shorter distance than the NBA three-point line. Go look at the average scores in the WNBA. They are barely scoring points from a shorter distance already. All my golfers out there, have you ever noticed that the women's tee is, about 50 yards closer to the green than the men's tee? Do you ever wondered why? Doesn't take a gender specialist from Woke U to figure it out. Men have more natural power. Men have the natural ability to hit the ball further. I actually feel bad for Sabrina Ionescu because all these shit fucks overreacting to Kenny Smith, they are overshadowing her moment. She was impressive last night, but the only thing people are talking about is Kenny Smith and his toxic masculinity. The disaster for both TNT and the NBA, it didn't end there. Let's go ahead and get to this painfully boring dunk contest. The 2024 dunk contest, it was won by Mac McClung. Well, KC, who in the hell's Mac McClung? If you happen to be in Indianapolis this weekend, Mac McClung, He was the Uber driver that picked you up at the airport and delivered you to your hotel. He also delivers for Uber Eats. With the All-Star Game being in Indianapolis, there has been a surge in orders for the grilled wiener and the supersized cucumber. Mac McClung is responsible for delivering these woke delicacies. In his spare time, he plays minor league basketball in the G League. Once again, Mac McClung winning the dunk contest, not the biggest story. God-awful announcing. They made a big deal about Kenny Smith calling one of the judges for the dunk contest Darnell Tillman instead of Darnell Hillman. No disrespect to Darnell Hillman, but I don't know who the fuck you are either. Kenny Smith, he did a better job than I would have. If I were criticizing the judges in the dunk contest, I would have probably called you Daryl Spellman. But let me tell you how boring the dunk contest was last night. At one point, Jaylen Brown, he's prepping for his dunk. And by the way, credit should be given to Jaylen Brown. This year, he was the only star in the NBA willing to compete in the dunk contest. God forbid someone with a cemented legacy like, I don't know, LeBron James. God forbid Bron takes a break from trying to convince all of us that Bronny James is an NBA caliber player and actually competes in the dunk contest. But anyway, Jaylen Brown getting ready for his dunk. The production crew at TNT, they were so bored, they forgot to show it. Yeah. I mean, this shit was so boring. TNT, they decided to show some cartoonish graphic while the only star competing in the dunk contest was trying to dunk. I keep coming back to the same question this weekend. Why does Adam Silver do this every year? We go through the same thing every year. No one cares about the All-Star Game. Outside of Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, everything else last night, painfully boring television. Go watch that skills competition. I challenge you to watch it without falling asleep. There's only so many ways that you can dunk a basketball. At this point, we have seen every dunk imaginable, which is why you need stars to carry the event if you're going to have it. No disrespect to Mac McClung or the two other participants who were supplementing their income by carrying people to the airport tomorrow. Mac McClung, he could have the most impressive dunk that we have ever seen, but you know what would make it more exciting? If LeBron James was doing it, or if Zion Williamson was doing it. There is a reason that it's called the All-Star Game. You need actual stars to carry the weekend. If the stars are unwilling to do so, just cancel it. You know what I think would be better for the NBA? Going into the season, I was skeptical of the in-season tournament. I thought it was going to be meaningless, but I was wrong about it. Players treated those tournament games like they actually mattered, made the early portion of the regular season exciting. If I were Adam Silver, I am getting rid of the All-Star Game, and I'm having the semifinals and the finals of the in-season tournament played this weekend. Start the tournament on Christmas Day, have it competed through the month of January, and have the final rounds in February. That would be something that you are doing for your fan base. What you're doing now with All-Star Weekend, this has nothing to do with NBA fans. It has everything to do with money. But give me your thoughts. Am I off base here? Does it seem like there is this media or maybe even a social media created atmosphere where men can't criticize female athletes? Also, did any of you guys watch that disaster on TNT last night? What is the point of All-Star Weekend? Should the NBA move the in-season tournament to February and have it replace the All-Star Game? I think it would be a great idea, but you let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.